Well, looks like I hit 100 subscribers, so I guess that means it's Q&A time. Also, at the time of making this video, I checked my sub count and it said that I had like 185 subscribers, which is something else to behold. But honestly, I couldn't have gotten this far without you all, and I really do appreciate it. There's just not enough words to say how thankful I am for you just tuning into my videos and listening to me make silly voices on the internet. Thanks again. I honest to God appreciate it. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get on with the Q&A. Okay, so the first question is from Esteban Galvez. If you could have any new skill you don't currently have, what would it be? For example, I personally would like to be able to speak another language. I remember speaking some French back when I was in secondary school and Irish. I'd like to brush up on those two languages. But I'd also like to learn some Japanese and maybe some German as well, I don't know. And maybe for other skills that aren't involved with languages, I guess I could also try and maybe learn animation if I had the time. Oh, and definitely learn how to play guitar. I tried playing that once when I was a kid, and I just, didn't have the motivation for it, nor the interest, so I dropped it. We eventually gave the guitar away, so yeah. Hope whoever has that guitar is having fun with it. Nico DS asks, if you were to voice a character in a movie or TV show, would you rather voice the main character or voice the villain? I don't know, I think main characters and villains are pretty appealing to me in different ways, especially if they're written properly. I guess you could say my preferred main character would be one that's relatable, flawed, and if it was in like an action show or movie, brave, flawed, and maybe have a sense of humor as well. As for villains, I would also like for them to be pretty ruthless and smart and perhaps have a tragic backstory as well. I don't know, I'm a bit of a sucker for those, so yeah. That's the kind of main characters and villains I'd like to voice. Bernie the Cat asks, what are some of your biggest goals in life? Well, get a job, get a nice house, learn to drive. Just regular goals. I'm also thinking of maybe becoming a part-time artist as well, and perhaps a part-time voice actress. I don't know. I'll see what life throws at me. Life tends to be full of surprises, and even with all that, I just try and live the best life I can. Enough said. So the small boy Brian asks, is it surgery? Just stabbing you back to life? Well, Brian, surgeons are actually classified as legal stabbers, so the more you know. 9rose_T6 asked, how did you get interested in Cuphead? Ooh, I first heard about Cuphead when I was watching a review on Pop Spectrum. I wasn't interested when I found out it would be a hard game, but then I was also watching some videos by one of my favorite YouTubers, Rebecca Parham, on her channel Let Me Explain Studios. The video in question was Dumb Things I Do Outtakes, where she just recorded herself singing random songs for a particular scene in her video as practice, and one of those songs just so happened to be the Die House theme, the one that King Dice sings in the game. So I was curious, decided to look it up, and yeah, from then on I started getting more and more into Cuphead. I was reading fanfiction, I was looking at cool fan art, watching comic dubs and such, so yeah, that's pretty much how I got into Cuphead. It's a bit of an off-the-wall story, but hey, it's true. I tend to get interested in things by just random coincidences and such. So Little Bonnie Thing asks, favorite comic you've dubbed? And which one of your videos is your favorite? I'm gonna take this as one big question because it's basically asking for my favorite video. So I guess I would have to say the Joe Mama comic dub. It's just a little short video of Mugman basically standing up to a bully that was giving his brother Cuphead some grief and just being a little savage with his words, which is kind of my headcanon for him. And another thing that makes this video a favorite of mine is that I created the comic, I posted it on DeviantArt, and I got interested in dubbing my own comics. In fact, I still have a few more comics to dub on my channel, and so yeah, I then contacted Bernie the cat and asked if he'd like a part in it, and there you go, it was up. And I was pretty flattered that it got a lot of attention as well at the time, so yeah, thanks lads. I'm glad you enjoyed that video when it came out. I mean, it is pretty cheesy, but hey, I still love it. I hold it near and dear to my heart. Star Power 15 asks, if you could give any advice to a beginner artist, what advice would you give them? Well, I would say just keep on practicing, whether or not it's traditional or digital art. You can also look up references if you want to get an idea of what you want to put on the page, whether it's just scenery, or a person, or an animal. As well as that, just keep in mind that not all art is perfect. I mean, my art certainly isn't perfect, but I still like doing art anyways. And of course, don't compare yourselves to other artists. Just remember that every style is different, and some become popular over a short amount of time, and some just take a bit of a while to get some attention, but the important thing is just to always be yourself and always have fun. So yeah, I think that's the best advice I can give to any beginner artist. So Mishka Mink asks, how did you create your username? And I know this breaks the rule of one question, but how did you get into your current fandoms? Well, for my username, I was just thinking up random words to use for a short but unique username. Eventually, I settled on Noble because it sounded cool and regal, and Clover because it's a little reference to me being Irish. As for current fandoms, well, I guess you could say I got into them after just randomly hearing about them, which is basically how I tend to get into any of my interests. But the other fandoms I'm in include Hilda, Sallyface, Little Miss Fortune, Night in the Woods, Creepypasta, Horror, as well as Studio Ghibli. I don't know how to pronounce that. I got into the latter when I was a kid after my mom took me and my younger brother to see Howl's Moving Castle, and since then I was a big Ghibli fan, and eventually I started to watch more anime and soon enough got into horror as a teenager, and I still love them today. As for Hilda, well, I got into it because it was talked about a lot at the time it came out, and when I went to watch it, I quickly got into it. I even liked the second season, it was really well done. As for video games like Night in the Woods, Sallyface, Friendbow and such, I soon got into watching Let's Plays after watching people play Cuphead on YouTube, mainly by Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, you know, the real popular ones. And soon enough I started getting into more and more video games through these Let's Players. Some I still need to play, some I still need to finish, but the ones that I did manage to play, I just love them, especially Night in the Woods. I finished it recently on Christmas Day, and I recommend it. It's very funny, quite sad in some parts, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. Bonox7000 asked, do you have any more plans of your comic dubs soon? Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing more comic dubs. It's just a bit of a slow process because I have a bit of a busy life, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing more comic dubs. Aside from dubbing other people's comics, I also want to make my own comics and dub them. And I don't know, maybe just like put them on tapas or something? I don't know, but you're definitely going to see more original content from me in the future, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Shiny Goodra asks, if you had an opportunity to voice one of the bosses from Cuphead, whether it's for the Cuphead show, a comic dub, or a different fan project, who would you choose and why? That's a bit of a tough one. I would actually be a toss-up between Calamaria and Rumor Honeybottoms. I like Calamaria because she just looks adorable even when she's scary, plus she's also a pretty popular boss. And Rumor Honeybottoms, well, I don't know, she just seems pretty interesting as well, and very ruthless when she attacks Cuphead and Mugman in the game. I haven't played it, of course, but I've seen some Let's Plays, and yeah, it's pretty creative the way she takes them on. Plus, I kinda want to get a bit of backstory as to how she managed to set up a whole business in the middle of Inkwell Isle 3. So yeah, it's either Calamaria or Rumor Honeybottoms. And that's the end of the Q&A video, so a big thank you to all the people who asked me questions for this video, and of course a big thank you to all the people who subscribed. I honestly couldn't have gone this far without you, and like I said at the beginning, I really do appreciate it. I can't wait to see where this channel goes, and maybe when I hit 500 subscribers I might do another Q&A? I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, then feel free to give it a like, and maybe subscribe to my channel as well. Thanks very much for watching the video, lads, and I'll see you all later. Bye!